Hello and welcome to Captain Bob. Today I'm going to show you the altimeter motives panel. Coming up. Ron from Altimeter Motives contacted me and basically set me up with a panel, which I'm super excited to open up and take a look at it. Let's get started. I'll start by opening this up like this. This is the same box. The first one actually goes like this. Ta-da! So, this is what the panel looks like. Of course, it does have bubble wrap on it, so you can't see it. But don't worry, we can remove it. Now this is going to keep me entertained for at least a few hours. But this will keep me entertained quite a bit more. So first, let's take a look at the panel. So right here, there are two panels. The only difference between these two is that there's actually a gap between where the yoke holes are. So if you line up the yoke holes, the yoke hole is a little bit lower on one of them, and this depends on how you want it. So in the real plane, the yoke hole is more like this, and so this is built more to the real plane, more realistic, and so you can have it like this, and you can also have one that looks slightly better, or looks better for like hobby use, which is down a little bit. You'll also notice that there's a clock right here. This clock is actually really cool how it's designed. You have a front panel that's laser cut right here, and then they also laser cut the select, control, OAT, and volts. And it's really cool, the laser cutting process, because you basically get the laser cutter and then laser cut all of it for the circle, and then just some of it for the OAT, volts, select, and control. And then you put a layer of paint over it. I think this is wonderful. You also have these two buttons right here that are 3D printed, and then you interface your own buttons. You can put a display behind this, the clock right here, which will be super exciting, and I can't wait to get to design the clock. The panel also has a section for the Enunciators, so I'll be making these now, and then you can put an LED for each little Enunciator display, and then say like fuel low, low voltage. You'll also notice that there's a section for the test button, which will be also super cool to use. You can test the Enunciator, and that's something that's really cool because my simulator doesn't have an Enunciator panel yet. I haven't been able to fit one in, but it will be really cool to have one in the new sim. You'll also notice that there's a part right here that it got engraved into, or cut into, and it's painted black. That black is kind of to give it the illusion that it's a cutout panel like it is in the real plane, because the real plane actually has where you unscrew this panel and you can take off the 6-pack and then work on them separately, kind of. So you have this that looks really realistic with the real plane, and that I really like. You'll also notice you have the yoke holes, so you can fix your own yoke to it. With my simulator, I'm going to put a little support right here, and this will work really well. I'm excited to see how it goes. Another thing I like about the panel is that they have these little notches for the knobs. These are actually built pretty similarly to the Cessna. You'll notice that you have your knob, and the Cessnas have a small knob. My simulator has a lot bigger of knobs, and it looks less realistic, so I really enjoy these smaller ones. Next, let's kind of dive into the Avionics panel. So right here you have the Avionics circuit breaker panel, and you'll notice it's fixed to the panel with a bunch of M3 screws, and then you'll see that they have all of the fuses engraved onto here. So my circuit breaker has Avionics fan, GPS, gyro, Navcom 1, Navcom 2, transponder, autopilot, and ADF. So those are all of the fuses, and I can get right on making them, which will be super exciting, and I can't wait to make the fuses, because that's a part of the simulator that I've never really had, at least made well. You'll notice that the circuit breaker panel is actually engraved behind too. Let's go on to the little lenses. So there are 4 of these little lenses for the small instruments, the fuel instruments, and they're really cool to play with. They're pretty tiny, and they'll fit into your instruments here, and then I'll make them become part of the instrument. So you actually have glass you can tap on, and you can be like, I need more fuel, and then hope it slowly rises. So you have this right here, and you'll notice that it looks slightly foggy. That's actually because of the label. You can peel that off, and then it'll look like plexiglass, because it is. It'll be see-through, basically like normal glass, and that'll be super exciting to use. This just adds a whole nother layer of realism that I don't think I've achieved yet. You'll also notice that they have the big instruments too. So you could put it right here, and then do the same thing with the big instruments. I think one of the possibly coolest parts is the piece of glass, or the plexiglass, that has the cut in the bottom right here. This cut allows it right here, the attitude indicator, because a lot of attitude indicators have a black part right here that is not part of the instrument. It's where the knob goes to adjust the viewpoint, and that'll be really exciting to get to see and use. I think it'll look really cool in the plane, and I'm excited to use it. Okay, so right here you can just get a little bit of a look into how it compares to my current simulator. This won't be an awful change. It's really exciting. And even my yoke hole lines up. You can also see the color difference between the 2 panels. This will actually be really good. I'm actually thinking of getting another panel right here, just so they match, and it looks even better. If you look at this Cessna poster right here I have, you'll notice that this matches the poster so much better than the spray paint does. It matches it really quite nicely, I think. I'm also colorblind, but don't say that. And of course you can't get a perfect color match without having a real piece, so you can compare the 2 in real life. So this is a really good match, I think, and it's way better than this. So that's something that's exciting, and we can work this into the Cessna. I think this is kind of an audio panel, or a navigation panel, so that'll be another exciting part to build. No wonder I don't know what it is. It's not on this plane. That's why I don't know what it is, because I've been doing most of my research off of this plane. And if worst comes to worst, I can just put a little, like, something funny. I don't know, it'd be kind of funny to have an enunciator that just flashes the word danger, or you're gonna crash, you idiot. That would be pretty fun. Another super cool part of this panel is the little placard, the tail number placard. So this is super cool. I really like this, and I'll even focus it for you maybe. So you have it right here, and then it's the same method where you laser cut it, and then laser cut the outline, and then engrave the text. So these look really good. I like this one a lot. And he gave me a few options. And so there's the tail number in black, tail number in white, and then there's the white on black, but unfortunately he didn't give me a black on black one. But I suppose I can always flip it over. That was a joke. So this is really cool. I think I'm gonna have to go with this one. I think that one's the best, and it also matches the poster I'm going off of pretty well. Of course, the poster doesn't have to make all the decisions, but I think it's kind of fun that they're twinning. Of course, if you own a plane, you probably etch your tail number into everything anyway, so you could just use this as a name tag, or you could even have it multiple places in case you forget. There we go. You got a nice variety. This is what we call a redundant system. Let's actually see what it looks like with everything on it, like it should be in real life. So this is what it should look like in the simulator. I just realized that you really can't see these on the camera, but this is what it will look like, and it's really exciting. He also sent this letter in the package. Let me read it real quick. Dear Captain Bob, I have thoroughly enjoyed watching you design and build your home Cessna 172 simulator on your YouTube channel. As an expression of my appreciation of your effort, I am contributing a laser cut and etched left side cockpit panel along with some clear acrylic lenses. Although it was not my initial intent to provide these items as a general product offering, but believing that there might be other do-it-yourselfers building a home cockpit too, I've decided to offer these components to the general public for a modest price. Keep your wings level, unless you didn't want that, and thanks for your many instructive and entertaining videos. Ron, Altimeter Motives LLC, Managing Owner. I think what Ron is doing is super cool, and it really opens the doors for a lot of home cockpit builders. The next option most people have is a $300 panel, which is out of the reach of many people, including myself. So this really opens the doors for just beautiful panels delivered to your homestead. I'm really excited to implement this into my simulator, and if you're interested, go check out the link in the description because it will show you his website where you can buy your own panel. I hope you have a fantabulous day, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.